Good evening to the Arsenal Nation. Good evening to my squaddies. Hello, welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. It's Monday Madness, and it might be a little bit of a different top five talking points. You've got me, I've got you. Let's do this together. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. I have to tell you, and you know what, Ryan? It's always good to see you, and it's good to see everyone. I'm not going to lie. I'm exhausted, really tired today. It has been a long season, and doing a show every single night for an entire season, especially when our team hasn't done particularly well, it takes a lot of energy and time and brain work. But at the same time, it's worth every single second, because you know why? Without you guys over the last year, especially being in lockdown, I'm not sure I could have made it, or anyone on this show could have made it without you. Stephen is a fella that wrote to us on YouTube a few months ago and started calling us squaddies. And so I'm entering Stephen into the Highbury Squad Hall of Fame tonight, because I need a bit more info and intel, maybe a picture of Stephen, but that really helped kickstart and transition a completely different community here at the Highbury Squad. It connected us in different ways. It gave us an identity. It made us feel like we were all part of something. And whether we're broadcasting or you're listening, I've always felt that you guys have been the co-hosts of the season, and the best co-hosts of the season. And from the bottom of my heart, I just wanted to say, and I know we've said it on previous shows, but from the bottom of my heart tonight, I wanted to take tonight's Monday Madness. I wrote top five talking points, right? If you want to hear them, we can still talk about them. But once I kind of got into the mode of today, I got a little bit emotional in a good way, in the sense that I'm so grateful for each and every one of you to getting our show almost to 6,000 subscribers. We have hundreds of comments on YouTube every single week. We've brought you inside the dressing room, a trip down memory lane, Monday Madness, Kevin Says, all of our different shows, Wednesday Wisdom, Wednesday Women, the Good Morning Gunners, trying to connect people from all sorts of different continents. What I've tried to do on the Highbury Squad, what we collectively have tried to do, is build a community and make every single Arsenal fan around the world, no matter where they are, and we have them everywhere, from Madagascar to India to New Orleans to New York, Athens, everywhere, Australia, Brazil, you name it, Uganda, Angola, Nigeria, Albania. To have that connectivity really is what makes everything worthwhile. Okay. So I wanted to start the show today. Palmer's Green. Never forget Palmer's Greek. Well done, Universal Greek. Always appreciate you reminding me where I came from. You can take the Palmer's Green out of the girl, but you can't take the girl out of Palmer's Green. 100%. Big shout out to Nola, Texas. Let me know where in the world you are tonight, because you guys have really just been the best. I cannot begin to tell you. There are a lot of Arsenal podcasts out there, and there are a lot of really great hosts, guests, content, listeners. But I love my squaddies. I love this community, this audience, what we've built together. And you are as much of this and as part of this as I am. And next season, we're going to do even more together, integrate each other even more so. I've got some great ideas about how we can even connect with fans even more so on a global level. So let's go. Syracuse, hello. Northern Minnesota, Vancouver, Hampshire, London, Washington, D.C. Demsex dropped the other channels that they used to watch. Matty K's got to take a Zoom call, but we'll be back in a bloody minute. Here we go. North London. Let's do this. Wow. Virginia, Chile. Oh, I have a cousin who lives in Chile, Nicholas. I've got to visit. It's one of my South America is my next objective to get to. And that's right, Lone Star. We built this together and nothing is going to stop us now. Philadelphia, hello. Ethiopia, good evening. India, hello. London, my hometown. I love you. I miss you every single day. Turkey, hello, Turkey. Good evening to you as well. FIFA boy Darren's in North London until Thursday. We have Uganda here. Incredible. I just love this. Rotterdam, Holland, who just hosted the Eurovision Song Contest that my Cyprus did not win, but that's okay. That's all right. I do love myself a bit of Holland. It is so much fun out there. And yes, it would be amazing. Southeast London, big up to you. Kev right now would be doing his whoa, whoa, whoa. Marbella of Essex, Chelmsford. Love that, James. Love that. James is going to be on the show on Thursday. Got some really great stuff planned for you for this week. Belfast, hello. And no, didn't miss London. I mentioned it, Newman. Oh, it's 8 degrees. That's a shame. Is it raining then? Is it really crazy? Azerbaijan didn't win either. I know. And I know you love that song as well. Greece did give Cyprus 12 points. Thank goodness. Without them, I'm not sure where we would have been. We did. That was a hot song. She was hot as well, wasn't she? Woo, El Diablo. Come on. Anyway, I digress. So James Johnson's going to be on the show for a new segment on Thursday called Making the Case For. And James is going to come on and he's going to make the case for Nicola Pepe. So I'm really excited about this new show. And I just wanted to let you know today that we're going to be with you every single day. We're going to take a couple of days off just before the Euros, which start on June 11. So we'll go dark for a few days just to kind of have some downtime. But between now and then, we're going to be live. Kev's going to be on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. We're going to have Kevin Says on Wednesday, and we're going to have a bunch of fans. Now, here's something, a secret. So Kev's out. He's busy tonight. Listen to me. I want to do some videos for Kev to show our gratitude for him being on the channel this year. So all of my regular squaddies, the Highbury squad at gmail.com, I'd love for you to send a video, 30 seconds, no more, of saying thank you to Kev or something to Kev. And I will play them all in the show on Wednesday. We're going to have some fans come into the show as well. But if you could do that for me, Michigan and everybody else, Midlands, West London, UK and Ireland, that would be fantastic. So the Highbury squad at gmail.com, send me a video and whatever you want to tell Kev, I will play it in the show. I would love it if you could do that for me. He's been so incredible this season and I wanted to show our gratitude. And on Kevin Says this week, I thought we could turn the tables. He's not going to listen to this, I don't think. I mean, he listens to every show. We're going to try and hide this one from him. So if you can do that for me, I would really appreciate it. 30 seconds, no more. The Highbury squad at gmail.com. Taib, Lone Star, FIFA Boy, Newman, Matty K, Amesy, Bernadette, Overlord of Procrastination, James, Demsek, you know who you are, Too Extreme, Mark, all of you. Johnny Boy, I'm expecting videos from each and every one of you, okay? Help me out here. All right. So let's get to what I was going to talk about. And let me know if you want me to talk about this or if we just want to wax lyrical and just kind of go spontaneous because you're my co-host this evening, right? So my top 5 talking points for tonight were going to be, and then I got a little bit, it's been a long season and my God, it's been really hard. It's been the hardest season following Arsenal Football Club, hasn't it? It's been exhausting, draining. I know we all feel it. It's the hope that killed us. The Europa League semi-final, I think, is what killed everybody. And I said to you before, I've seen that in, people watching the show and engaging in podcasts and all of that stuff. A lot of fans are completely over it. And so tonight, I just wanted to show gratitude and thanks. And I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you rather than regurgitate stuff that we're going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. So maybe tonight is not Monday Madness. Maybe it's Mellow Monday where we all chill, we take a beat, we give each other a hug. And I'll still share what I was going to talk to you about. Okay, so here we go. My first point was going to be Torreira, Partey, Sanchez, all won championship medals this season. Torreira and Partey won a medal without even playing for that team for the whole season. Torreira won a medal by going out on loan. Sanchez, who went to United and failed miserably, went to Inter Milan and won one. And then I was going to ask you guys, in how many Arsenal players have left Arsenal and gone on to win a medal, right? So that was going to be my take. And then I'm like, you know what? Do I really want to do that tonight? Do I? I'm not sure if I want to do that tonight, because we know Van Persie left, he won. Fabregas left, he won. Even Henry left and he won. Nasri, Adebayor. I mean, where does the list end? The guys I've mentioned, Ashley Cole, Clichy. I mean, the list is endless. And I think for me, that's where the rubber meets the road, in the sense that we've got to stop that trend. We can't let our best players leave. We have to have a more ruthless approach. And in the title of the show today, when I sent it out on Twitter, I mentioned ruthlessness is the key word for the Arsenal Football Club this season. You have to be ruthless if we're going to move forward. And that means making tough decisions about Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson, El Neni, Chambers, Willock, Holding, all of these players. And we can't afford sentimentality. That's for Christmas. That's for when grandma comes over and, you know, you want to give her present and she opens it up and her eyes light up. Sentimentality is zero at Arsenal, should be zero at Arsenal this summer. We have to be absolutely ruthless, like J.R. Ewing in Dallas. Okay? Even with family, J.R. was ruthless. And a lot of the time it was bad ruthless, but Arsenal need to be bad ruthless. They need to be much more determined. They don't need all of these, you know, kind of softy decisions. I mean, we've seen them. Steve Bold gone. One of the conditioning coaches or trainers gone. Yes, Arsenal Football Club. I love Steve Bold. Great. He's been at the club 30 plus years, though. It's time for evolution. It's time for change. It's time to give somebody else a chance with fresh ideas. That can come from another player, like a Dennis Bergkamp, creative, a trailblazer, a Picasso, paints pictures, give him a blank canvas. What can he teach? What can he do? Think about all the players that have come through the doors. Maybe even a Kevin Campbell. I would give him a job at the Arsenal. Why not? So as much as I respect Steve Bold and what he's done incredible things for the Arsenal. I think what we need to do is what Lone Star says, BJR, not Bobby Ewing. And there's a big difference. Okay. So that's what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about Arteta too, but we've done that a lot on this show. You know how I feel about it. Let's not pretend he's the Messiah. Let's not pretend he's the second coming. We finished below Spurs again. He had the chance to do that. We were relying on other people to do our dirty work yesterday. We got knocked out by Unai Emery in the Europa League semi-final. We lost to the guy we replaced with the guy that we have. Shambles, right? I don't think you blame the players in those two legs. I think you blame Arteta. You know, he's the one that chose the team. He's the one that chose the tactics that night at Villarreal. He's the one that decided to play Xhaka at left back. He's the one that decided to drop Cedric. He's the one that made those decisions. And we could have been excited this week looking forward to a Europa League final against Manchester United. But you know what? No. That bubble was burst too. Why? I think Arteta screwed it up. Now, have the players been bad this season? Yes, of course they have. But has he helped them? No. But all I hear is this, and I wanted to show you guys this, right? Because all I hear is about how we've been great since January. The season starts in the summer. It doesn't start in January. But with that said, what do I give him credit for, at least, is getting rid of the cancer in the dressing room in January, getting rid of the clique. Okay? And you could argue that, yes, since they've gone, we've performed better. But at the end of the day, it's night. And when you wake up in the morning, you still have to live in the truth and look at yourself in the mirror. And despite those changes, despite one of the greatest transfer windows in Arsenal history in January, we failed to build on that. Our form looks good because we were so bad. We weren't able to push on. We had chances. We could have finished above Tottenham. We could have still finished in Europe. Let's not make excuses for him, and let's not make excuses for the players. It's got to be better next season. We know that. If we start the new season with new players and it's his team, and come October, we're in the same position, come on. At that point, you have to say he's got to go. So we're in a very important point of our entire Arsenal life. This summer is the most important summer we've had in a very long time. We've got to back up what we did in January with making sure we top that up in the summer. You know, don't give me the Joe Willock thing. Okay, that's one of my others, right? One of my other comments. Seeing as we're here, we're going to do it anyway. One of my other comments, Joe Willock. Yes, he's done well for Newcastle. He's shining in a pretty poor Newcastle team. If Newcastle paid 40 million for Joe Linton, they should pay 50 million for Joe Willock. Okay, let's get this straight. We can capitalize on an asset. He's a British player, and in the market, he can garner a lot of money and funds. So I'm not saying he's not the right guy and he can't partner Partey, but he's been given opportunities at Arsenal, as have El Neni, as have many other players who continually prove themselves to be inconsistent. And with Joe Willock, if we cannot make the same mistake that we made with Maitland-Niles. We could have sold Maitland-Niles to Wolves for 20, 25 million last season, and we didn't. And now here we are. He's had the worst loan deal of any Arsenal player, maybe worse than Guendouzi. Mavropanos has had a good one. Torreira's won a La Liga title. You know, Saliba's had a good time in Nice. But here we are. Maitland-Niles chose his path because he wanted to play midfield. It came back to bite him in the arse. Even Sam Allardyce said, you know what, son? If you're given an opportunity to play for Arsenal Football Club, I would play in any position the manager asked me to. Joe Willock has had a phenomenal loan deal. I don't know, when was the last time an Arsenal player had that? Nketiah had a good loan deal at Leeds. Smith Rowe had a great loan deal at Huddersfield, but this kind of loan deal where he's breaking records at Newcastle and matching Alan Shearer, totally different ball game. If you don't want to sell Joe Willock, tell me why, James. I think we could get 40 million for him now. 40 million, agree with you. If we sold Iwobi for 35, Aaron, 100%, we can sell Willock for 40 million. Darren, in an ideal world, in my world, it doesn't reflect the opinion of everyone else on this show, I would have done that. So this is where we need to be ruthless. He's had the opportunities, and unfortunately, like some of the other Haaland boys, he hasn't been able to shine like Saka or ESR. You know greatness when you see it. They take their opportunity right away. They don't need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 games. They just do it when they're asked to do it. They turn it on. And for me, Joe Willock is the kind of player that has had his opportunity. Now, could he come back and excel because he's got the confidence now? Yeah, sure. But do Arsenal Football Club really want to be in that game? And apparently it's not a run, it's a rune. Thank you for correcting me on that one. I get a lot of those wrong, by the way. So let me know exactly. Iwobi was pre-pandemic, but look at the money being. Listen, Emeka, there's still money being thrown around. Wait till the Kane deal comes in and the Haaland deal comes in, and yes, it's going to be different. But if you want assets that are of value, he has proven himself as one of the best assets in the Premier League in the last 8 weeks. There is no doubt about that. And Arsenal Football Club need to utilize this as a trump card to be able to wheel and deal. What can you get for Joe Willock? And if you can't sell him for 40, what can you do to transfer him and get and extract what you want? He's a baller at Newcastle United, you guys. This is where we need to be ruthless and stop the mentality a little bit. Okay, if you keep him, Mr. Waffles, tell me, guys, if he stays, is he the partner to Thomas Partey? Would you rather sell Willock and invest in Basuma? Would you rather sell Willock and invest in somewhere else in the pitch, where it's in the number 10 role, whether it's in the right back role, whether it's in the left back role, whether it's a direct replacement in the midfield? What would you do? For me, I feel, yes, Willock's been absolutely brilliant on loan, and surely that's the point of being on loan. But also the point of being on loan is adding value and equity to the asset. In the sense, in the back of Arsenal's mind, they've sent those players on loan too because they want to add value to the asset. Maitland-Niles' values dropped. Willock's has gone sky high. That's the difference. So maybe I'm being too harsh, but I want to be ruthless this season. If he goes on and has a phenomenal career for another team, great. But also, who's gonna pay that kind of money for him? Like I said, Newcastle paid 40 for Joe Ellington. Why wouldn't they pay the same for Joe Willock, who has been far more impactful than that other signing? And why wouldn't we cash in on that? To reinvest in our team, to elevate us, to take us beyond the players who've been there for a while, who've been given an opportunity. That's all I'm saying. And no, you're right. We never know how to sell, Ren. This is true. This is where we fail miserably. And Matthew, it's true. We have to be careful. Willock had a good loan, but that doesn't mean he can or will do it next season. It's a different market. I understand, Nicholas. I get that. But it's still a market where football is football. The money is there and teams will pay. Now, do we send him out on loan again next season? Do we want to do that? Why would we do that? Let's cash in now. Maitland-Niles might be someone that goes out on loan again next season. Maybe we can't get the money we think that he warrants. Maybe Reece Nelson goes out. Maybe even Balogun's going to go out next season. Maybe Aziz is going to go out next season. These are really big decisions. Really big decisions. And I agree, we need goals from midfield, Superfleet. We do. But at the same time, is he going to be the right person in this Arteta team playing in this system to be able to execute that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So with me, I would cash in on him. I really would. And I agree, James. Iwobi and Chamberlain were the last great sales the club made. I mean, Iwobi, 35 million. Kudos. And that doesn't happen often at the Arsenal. Chamberlain, great deal. Kudos. I think we could do the same again with Willock. But it's about the right price, the right team, and the right time. And I think now is the right time. He may not want to leave. But also, don't you agree that Arteta has been kind of on the fence with him? He wasn't committed to him in his presser, was he? The usual, well, he has a contract here and he's a player he's an Arsenal player. So Walcott was a good deal too, Ryan. You're right. You know? And I know we need like the homegrown numbers for next season. You can still work that out. You can still figure that part out. And out of all of them, yes, he's performed the best, but he's also the most valuable asset. So that's what makes it tricky with Willock. So if you take your Hayland hat off and put your chairman hat on, you sell Willock, you try and get 35 mil and you reinvest that in the team. And you know, guys, we need to sell in order to reinvest. Maybe Bellerin's going to be that 25 million. Xhaka wants to go. Can we still get 20 for him? El Neni, do you want to keep him? Looks like we're probably going to do that. Chambers has made a case for himself to be a squad player. But the truth is, someone like Leno could end up leaving. If you can get 25 or 30 for Leno and replace him, you're trying to catch numbers in the sky. And it is a different market because of COVID. But at the same time, there's no doubt that we're going to have to sacrifice, just like we did with Emi Martinez. Lacazette could be sacrificed this season. Yes, he signed one-year deal, but anything can happen in football. Anything can happen in football. Anything can happen in football. Eddie Nketiah, you know what? I can't see anyone paying more than 10 million for him. I just can't. Can you guys see anyone paying more than 10 million for Eddie Nketiah? I could see Leeds maybe jumping into the well if they lose a couple of their players from a decent season that they've had this year. I can see maybe a promoted team diving in for an Nketiah as well. And now when I'm seeing Emi Martinez as like in some of these player best 11s of the season in terms of goalkeeper, makes you realize like it's not about harping on about the same things, but it's the fact that we've made a lot of mistakes. And we continue to, and even Edu and Arteta have. So either way, we got to sell shit to make shit happen. And we're going to talk about that and dive into that a lot this week and in the coming weeks. So that was my third point with Arteta. Also, who gets the credit for the January exodus? Because when I tweet to folks about, Arteta's got to do this and that, I get the responses that Edu's the guy. He's the one that's making all the deals. He's the mover and the shaker. So does Edu get credit for January and getting rid of the cancer, or is it Arteta that gets the credit? I'm confused. Maybe one of you guys can help me understand that. I thought they were a team. They worked together and they were both responsible. They identify what they need. They discuss it. And I know the Thomas Partey thing was a little bit different because Edu wanted him and Arteta wanted Usam Aouar. So who does that? Yeah, much ado about nothing. Correct. No credit. We had to let them all go. Jermaine says both of them. Demsek says both have credit. Arteta had to freeze them out. Mikel, 100%. Rumors are over, Marzin. I will take that every day of the week. Can he bring Ten Hag with him as well? That would be nice. Gooners Pod. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Homegrown English forward. Who knows where the goal is? Plenty of clubs could use Eddie. We've destroyed his value, though. We've destroyed Guendouzi's value, Torreira's value, Eddie Nketiah's value. We've destroyed Maitland-Niles' value. Mavropanos' value is up. Saliba will come back, hopefully. Willock is really the shining... Willock and Mavropanos are the shining stars of these loan deals. And sometimes, look, it's a hit and miss. It's on the player as well, right? It's not always the club's fault when we send someone out on loan and they don't perform. I get that. But tricky times. Yeah, he also gave us Willian. This is all true. Listen, I've tried to help with the MLS side of things, but it's not happening. If he does go anywhere, it's going to be into Miami, not to any LA team as well. Right. My next one was... What did you guys think of the protest at the game? So now I'm doing Monday Madness. We've literally you guys are such manipulators. I was starting off thanking people and going down, pulling the heartstrings and telling everyone how grateful for the show. And then I loosely talked about what the top 5 talking points were going to be. And somehow you squaddies sucked me right back into it. It's like that Al Pacino scene in The Godfather 3. Right when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. So you've pulled me back in. This is what's happening right now. It's insane. Let's talk about the protests right now. What did you guys think of the protests? Well, we do have a spammer, don't we? Yes. Let's block them, shall we? What did you guys think of the protests? We came out with a bang on the first protest. There was a lot of advertising for this next protest at the game yesterday. And to me, it looked like it fell a little bit short. I know I had to do it, but you made me do it, Andrew. You guys made me do it. You guys made me do it completely. Let's see, Matthew. The protest was decent, but weak fans got a chance to see game and forgot about the protests for the day. Here's the scoop. What I've seen. We all don't like the Cronkies. We're all disappointed with what they've done and how they've run Arsenal Football Club. It has not been good. It's been a bit of a shambles, right? And we came out guns blazing, punch, 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 uppercut. And then yesterday seemed to fall flat. And then the other thing too is all I've seen after all the complaining is everyone pretty much has gone out and bought the new away shirt. And when I was trying to make the point a few weeks ago about how fickle we all are, and that in the end, we want to support the club. And in the end, we'll buy the merchandise because it's the Arsenal. This is what is happening. You know? And good evening, Liverpool fan. Our Arsenal fans from Liverpool. Hey, SD. SD? Soccer Diva. That's me. That's you. Welcome. I just thought that it was... I just thought that it all kind of fell flat. Not that all's been forgotten, but it shows you a little bit too about the modern world, instant gratification, how people jump on events, how people jump into social causes, justice. And at the end of the day, those social causes still need help, support. They still need people to get involved, to be able to articulate, to spread the word. And for me, when I see also key influencers wearing the shirt, I mean, I may buy the shirt. I don't know. Maybe someone will buy it for me. Right now, I'm not going to buy it. But when I see people kind of posing in it too, it's like, hold on a second. I thought you were against the Cronkies. What do you guys think about that? Can you help me? Stephen says, buy the shirts. Any more than that is succumbing to the consumerism. But isn't it succumbing to the consumerism too? Chihab says, I think the protest was a bit shy yesterday, but I think the message is sent to the Cronkies and they feel the heat now. Do you really think they feel the heat now? They may feel the heat from their summer home where they're chilling, drinking cocktails as they look into the distance and wonder if the captain of their yacht is ready to take them on an excursion. They don't care. Zero. Sophie from Guna Gossip TV, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us again. I feel embarrassed at the protest. There wasn't many there. We can't use the weather as an excuse. Also, Josh Kroenke was at the Emirates, so the fans should have chanted more against Kroenke. Absolutely. Josh Kroenke was there, and we failed to do anything of any note. I love the AST. What they've done is incredible. Akil Vias is on my list as one of my heroes this season. Part of my thank you list. Look at my crazy writing. But yesterday we even in stadium, I said to Kev, I'm like, I was kind of proud of the fans for not going at the team and booing and doing all that type of stuff. But when you have the owner of the club in the stadium, I just think that we failed. And for me, it kind of, I'm not trying to upset Arsenal fans. I'm not trying to, upset the shopping cart here in any way, shape or form. But you're right. Successful people, they don't feel that. They don't. James, Adidas gave a sum of money to the club for the shirts. So you're not giving the Cronkies more buying a shirt. So who makes the money, James? When we buy a shirt, it goes to Adidas or does it go to the club? Josh had a lovely day out, stress-free. No one was giving him any crap. And I'm not saying I wanted to cause a fuss on the last day of the season, but when you put it out there and you're advertising and you're going strong on Kroenke out, the date, everyone retweeted it. Just kind of fell flat a little bit. And in the end, now season's over. And Kevin was right. Kevin says, and good evening to all 200 of you in live chat right now. Really appreciate you being here on a Monday night. The club gets 5%. Thank you, Prophet. So they still get some money. But Kevin said this on his show last week. If Stan signs the checks, what will appease Arsenal fans? And I said to him, we sign Grealish, everyone forgets about everything. Now, I'm not saying we're going to sign Grealish. It's just an example of how people will forget. And we've already forgotten. Now, I'm not saying we've completely forgotten, but I think people realize kind of what I've been saying, what we've been saying on this show is that Arsenal Football Club are owned by the Cronkies. They're not going anywhere. And we will have to deal with them, which is why I created the positive week a couple of weeks ago. We're dealing with the Cronkies. Arteta is our manager. This is what we have. This is the reality. It's not going to change, not this season. So we're going into the summer with Arteta as our manager and Cronkies as the owners. What were they chanting, John? Because it didn't come across. And it certainly didn't come across outside either. So Adidas pay Arsenal annually for the right to make the shirts. Then when the shirt sells, Adidas keep about 80 to 85 of the revenues, Arsenal about 15%. So they're all still making money, right? And good evening to the spammer in the room. Interesting how this evening there are 2 or 3 spammers in the room. Interesting, isn't that? How that happens. But like someone said, you haven't arrived until you have spammers. So I guess that's a good thing. So those were some of the comments that I had in my top 5. Bit of Arteta and Adu. Who gets the credit for January? Who really gets the credit for starting to kind of infuse that mass exodus? Torreira, Sanchez, Partey, especially Torreira and Partey this season, kind of going off and winning medals and stuff like that. Kind of, indicative of how we need to move on as a team and make sure that we align ourselves and invest in players who want to be there and who want to be there. Wow, this is so interesting. Okay, here we go. Ruthlessness. Do you think Arsenal Football Club can be ruthless? Answer me that. Do you think Arsenal fans can be ruthless? Arsenal Football Club can be ruthless. I think we've seen some of that. Good evening to all of you in live chat right now. I think we've seen a ruthlessness in January. Do you think we continue to be ruthless in the summer? I mentioned Willock. How much of that ruthlessness do you think we have in us? I know, I'm sorry about the spammer. I'm trying to get rid of it, and I've blocked them as much as I can, you guys. So, let's not worry about the spammers. Let's just talk. So that's it. So it was Torreira Partey winning a medal. It's Arteta and Adu who's responsible. It's Kroenke, the protest. Did they fall flat? And ruthlessness. And the last one is we left it too late. We left it too late for someone to do our dirty work for us. And for me, the biggest thing for the Arsenal going into the season, next season, is consistency. Can we be consistent? Can we turn the table and go on a run and just allow ourselves the opportunity to build that confidence in the Premier League? And without European football, you guys, there are no excuses next season, are there? I don't think there are any excuses next season. We've got to be absolutely much more consistent. Once Arteta has the team in his image from the summer, where he can completely turn this team around to the way he wants, and none of the players he's inherited, there's no excuses. So can we be consistent? Euros are no excuse. Thank you, Daniel, for the facts. We've shown some consistency in the last 2/3 of the season, but means nothing without a whole season. Exactly, Martin. That's the point. I respect the fact that we have improved since January. I respect that. But the point is that the season starts in the summer. And this is why we're chasing our tails. And yesterday, instead of having our own destiny in our own hands, we were relying on others to help us. And I think that's where we need to improve. That is where we need to improve. And it is a new era. And I'm all about the positive thinking. John, you should go and watch the week of positive thinking shows. It really is, for me, an acceptance. You know, it's kind of like I've really talked about Arsenal being in football rehab. And when you hit rock bottom, there's breakdown, meltdown, rock bottom. And when you hit rock bottom, you come to your own realization that you need help in order to get your life back together and move back up, right? And Arsenal Football Club are at rock bottom in the Premier League. Been very good in the Cups and FA Cup. We almost got ourselves to another European final, but we failed to do that. So how can we rebuild ourselves and take the 12 steps, the necessary 12 steps, now we've hit rock bottom, to regain some type of prowess in the Premier League, but start off with consistency. Step 1 is, step 2, 3, 4. There are a lot of steps to take. It starts with the manager, it starts with the owners, it starts with transfers. It's part of and parcel of having the fans re-engaged and caring and all of these different things. So for me, consistency is the number one. Don't worry about the spammers, you guys. Let's see. Let's try and get rid of them. All right. Let's block them, shall we? Okay. We do need the 12 steps too. It's very important for us to have the 12 steps and go through them as fans together. We've been so divided instead of united. That's why I was talking about the protest Lone Star, because for me, the first protest felt like for the first time in years, we were together, we were united, we were working towards a common goal, a common message, something we all believed in. And then after that, we kind of became fractured again, whether it's over the manager, whether it's over transfers, whether it's over this, that, or the other. So for me, if the fans could just come together and realize that this is the reality, this is what we're dealing with. The owners are here. The manager is here. So for the start of the season, let's just come together and just try and have one voice of positivity versus continually focusing on the negatives. Now, there's a difference between being negative and criticizing a performance and a manager. Those things are completely separate. You have every right as a fan to criticize the manager or the players after a poor performance. Now, does that mean we have to be negative over and over and over and over and over again? No, but you can be critical. But we don't have to argue and fight as fans going forward. We've done that too much. So my goal, my hope is that we can all come together and show some solidarity going forward. That's all my dream is. My biggest dream is that we're competitive in the Premier League again. I live for that. It was. Relegation was really close. Think about that. You guys, don't forget. We were right there. We were right there at the end of the season. And at the beginning of the season. What was it? November, December time? We were flirting. We were flirting real good with relegation for the first time in our existence. And now we find ourselves in this position. We've failed to qualify for Europe for the first time in 5 years. We've broken all of our good records for the wrong reasons. Let's put it in our rearview mirror and let's just move on. Let's just move on. Speaking of moving on, I do apologize for all of the spamming in live chat. I'm not sure where that is coming from. It's a little distracting, I'm not going to lie. But I do appreciate you guys supporting me tonight and being here with me tonight. It means the world to me. I'm really excited about what we've done this season on the Highbury squad. It's been worth every sweat, tear, and muscle that has been put into this show. And next season's going to be even more exciting. We're going to have a lot of exciting shows. We're going to have some new collaborations, and it's going to just continue to grow and evolve and hopefully get better. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, and I've tried to block them as much as I can. I'm a one-woman show tonight, so doing the show, talking, moderating, reading, posting, writing back messages, But you know what? I feel like one of those. Do you remember back in the day where the guy used to play with a banjo and he'd have a harmonica and then he'd have a drum on his back and then he'd whip out a guitar somehow? I feel like that's all going on tonight too. So thank you so much. Tell me something that you want to. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Tell me something that you want me to know before we head out tonight. Because I have to say, I really want you guys to send me a video, thehighburysquad@gmail.com. Send me a little video about and ask Kev a question or something that you want Kev to respond to you. We're going to have a very special episode of Kevin Says on Wednesday. Shh, don't tell him. I don't think he's going to listen to this show. And I'm getting some fans in the show and I want to play him some videos as well. So if you can send me a video of you asking Kev a question and just saying how much he rocks, that would be fantastic. Okay. Yeah, Saka, one-man band. It's for Wednesday, so send that over. I wouldn't mind Zidane. You know. Monthly monologue. Yeah, the Monday Madness. It's not as great as usual. I guess I'm just a little, as my good friend Mike from the Gooners Pod would say, I'm knackered. I am today. I'm feeling knackered, exhausted, a little drained about a few things and stuff like that. So, but I tell you, it's been worth it, like I've said, and I don't want to sound like an old woman and an old record. But, you know, that's how it goes. Thank you, Overlord. Listen, I love you as well, and I want to come to Jamaica. We all want to go to Jamaica. We got Gooner Gras in New Orleans. Maybe we should do a Gooner event in Jamaica. I think I could get Mike and Tiffany involved in that real easy. Yes, next season I will have a moderator. Her name's Amesy. And you know, she's can you spam Sophie? He's doing a great job. Yeah, I'm sure they can. It's all good. It's all good. Amesy will be the moderator next season. It's going to be great. Knackered AF. Right, that's it. You know what? This show was really the show about nothing. I did a show about nothing last week with Anu, but tonight's show felt like it was about nothing. But regardless, I wanted to come on and I wanted to say thank you. And I've got some thank yous to do, okay? So bear with me, everyone in live chat. It's been amazing. The one person I really want to thank, I'm gonna do that on Wednesday in a big way, and that's Super Kevin Campbell. I want to thank all of our guests who have appeared on the Highbury Squad this season across all of our shows. It has been absolutely incredible. We've had some quality, and they've been great guests, from key influencers, journalists, to our fellow podcasters in the podcast universe. And if I forget anybody, I will rectify that and mention names all week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, you guys? My first big thanks is to you. I think I've told you that before, and I may have told you many times. Without the squaddies, without the people in live chat, this show wouldn't happen. We couldn't do it without you. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. And you mean everything to me. And just think, in the lockdown series, as much as I helped you, we helped you, everyone helped you, you helped us. You were here every single night. And I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank Rebecca Lowe, Lee Dixon, Clive and Elliot from the Arsenal Vision Pod, our good friend Jess, who's a newcomer to the podcast scene and is smashing it this season. Absolutely adore Jess. Warren Barton has been a friend of this show and someone I've been talking football with for a very, very long time. Alan Smith, always a great guy, comes on. Jason Cundy, maybe misunderstood on TalkSport sometimes, but let me tell you, Jason is a top shelf geezer. Thank you to him. Mickey Gray as well, ex-Sunderland legend. Thank you to him for coming on. Sean Gota, who came on as well. These are guys who came on inside the dressing room. Brilliant stuff. I would also like to thank Graham Hunter. Did a special with him on Jose Antonio Reyes, which was really magical. And I love doing that show with him. It was awesome. Thank you, Graham. David Hillier, an amazing friend of the show. And you'll be seeing a little bit more of Hillsey, hopefully, next season. John Harkes, the US legend, the first American to ever play in the Premier League, did a great show with him and Kev inside the dressing room too. He absolutely smashed it. Alison Bender, women in football who I love and respect and adore, doing great things. Lindsay Hooper as well. Robbie from AFTV, who's come on and supported the show a couple of times. Again, maybe Robbie's misunderstood. Maybe some people on AFTV may rub you up the wrong way or not, but Robbie's always been good to us here. Also, Andonis Soulis, who's one of my favorite Greek journalists, who came on to talk to us when we were playing Olympiakos. Great guy. Pete Redding, awesome guy, who came on to talk about the business of football and the app. The Coin app as well. Great guy. Peter Reid, Everton legend. He smashed it inside the dressing room. Absolutely brilliant stuff. I'd also like to thank Amelia Lopez, who's come on with me to do the stateside stuff. Top shelf. You'll be seeing more of her next season too. She's absolutely brilliant, and another one of those women who is rising as a voice in football on this side of the pond as well. I want to thank Akil Vias, who came on our Evergreen series, and Dave Seeger, who has been, for me, has become a friend. Axe I've known for a number of years, appeared with him on the Gooner Ramble first. He came on our Evergreen series. It's been absolutely incredible having him. Dave Seeger writes some incredible articles and is doing just wonderful things. Really appreciate him as well. Tom from the Gooner Talk TV. Thank you, Tom. You're smashing it this season. Respect to you and everything that you've done. Harry from the Chronicles of a Gooner. Another supportive fellow who's come on the show. We started with Harry years ago when he was just writing his book and he was building his channel. He's really smashed it as well as Tom this season. Just brilliant content from the two of them. Very proud of them. And I love listening to their show. Dan Potts, Potsy, my brother from another mother. Love you, Dan. You've been great. Thank you for coming on the show as much as you have this season. Lee Judges, the judge. Aye, Captain. Brilliant stuff from Lee this season too. We've had a lot of fun talking football on the show. Mr. Mike, Magic Mike. Kevin Campbell changed his life forever when he coined Magic Mike. He's absolutely risen to it. He's a brilliant person. He does so much for charity, the Gooners versus Cancer podcast. You're an epic human being. Thank you so much, Mike, for coming on too. And then Mike from You Are My Arsenal, another favourite of mine, supported me from 10 years ago. We started talking football with Mike. I know I'm going on and on and on right now, but you know what? I don't have the video clips. I wish I could have just had it to play, but tonight I'm just saying some thank yous. Kevin Hatchard, one of my favourite football writers, absolutely incredible insights into European football and the voice for Amazon on Bundesliga this year. Henry Winter did that special on the European Super League, which was fantastic. Dean Jones for our transfers as well. Jill Armstrong, the daughter of the legend Geordie Armstrong, coming on the show for some fantastic insights into being, in the Arsenal community through her dad. Kelvin Lewis, who came on and shared his Arsenal story as well. Anyone who came in and shared their story, a trip down memory lane. Total respect to each and every one of you. Alan Myers, Director of Communications, former Director of Communications at Everton and now at Sky Sports. Epic human being. Thank you, Alan. Tiffany Campo from the Gooner Gals and Gooner Gra. You rock. You rock. And I love ya. Jess as well, who told her story and shared her tears and has become a bit of a legend in the Arsenal community. Thank you to MK and Taylor from Arsenal Los Angeles. You rock. Thank you so much. Love having you on the show. You've always been so supportive. And actually, look what MK busted out for me. Yesterday on the show, someone said Pepe Don't Preach, a take on Madonna's famous song, Papa Don't Preach. And overnight, MK created a bit of art for us. So we're going to use this. She's going to refine it a little bit, but we're kind of digging the Pepe Don't Preach. That's a winner chicken dinner if ever I heard one. Thank you, MK, for sending that too. Thanks to everyone who has engaged with us this season. Really, really appreciate you beyond what I can say. And also thanks to Sky Sports and TalkSport for having me on to talk about football this season. It does not go unnoticed, and I'm so grateful. That's it, just gratitude every single way. And yeah, she's killing it on the tee. Let me put some of these comments up for you. Super Fleet. Okay, you're going to get Write it down. Send me an email. You are getting, if we sell any t-shirts, I'll send you some percentages, okay? Well done, Superflea. That was very, very clever. Highbury squad's been brilliant. Thank you so much. It's an Idaho hat. It's Idaho Falls. It's my girls from Idaho. So I rock the Idaho. Mike, I've enjoyed my opportunities to be with the squad this season. It's been a pleasure to watch this podcast grow in a year, and deservedly so. Thank you so much, Mike. Okay. Do my State of the Union next week. How about that? That was a great show. Thank you, Sophie. And thank you, everybody. Magic Mike, he does rock. All right, guys, that's it. I'm running out of breath. I'm tired. That I would have been way buzzed off the Oscars for my thank you speech right now. Plus, this isn't about accepting any award. It's about showing thanks and gratitude for every single person that has been part of this show this season. Now, yes, hopefully you got to Yellowstone Park as well. Nase Gala as well. Nase Banda Gala. O Theos Nase Proseki, Universal Greek. Tomorrow, we're back. Guess what we're going to do tomorrow? We're going to do a bit of transfer shit. You up for that? Come prepared. I want to know 5 players you want at the Arsenal. All right. Now, remember, we've done our shows where I've given you 150 million to spend and stuff like that. I want you to tell me just no spending, no nothing, 5 players you want at the Arsenal. And of course, be reasonable with the players. It's not Messi. It's not Lewandowski. It's not Haaland. It could be Grealish. Maybe we could make that happen. So 5 players you want at the Arsenal tomorrow. We're going to start talking about that. It's Sophie time. It's always Sophie time. We love the Highbury squad. We love you guys. Just want to thank everybody who's been part of this show this season. Everybody who's been part of this show this season. I love you all so very, very much. Wednesday, as Kevin says, make sure you get your videos in. Thursday, we're going to have James Johnston, JJ, making the case for Pepe. And if you want to make the case for an Arsenal player, hit me up at thehighburysquad@gmail.com as well. And you can come on and make the case for a player, whether it's Martinelli, whether it's Gabriel, whoever you want to make the case for, you can come on and you'll be put in front of the judge. That would be Kevin Campbell. And me, I will be the, who's the attorney? What's the name of the attorney? Not the prosecutor, anyway, the opposite person. And that'll be fun as well. And then on Friday, we're doing a Freestyle Friday, which I'll tell you a little bit about later on this week. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me this evening. It was a bit of a show about nothing, but yet it said everything. I love you guys very, very much. Don't ever forget that you guys make this show tick. And until tomorrow, I will see you then. Goodbye and good luck.